Next, we focus on a major investigation by the Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission, the PCACC. Now, the commission is probing an alleged local government contract scandal involving Musa Garba Kwankwaso, the nephew of former governor of Kano State, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, and other officials of government. The investigation was sparked by allegations from US-based skit maker Bello Garajanchi, claiming that each of the state's 44 local government areas was directed to pay the sum of 10 million naira for a drug supply contract with Novomed Pharmaceuticals. In response, the PCACC has frozen the sum of 160 million naira in accounts linked to the alleged scam and is working to recover the full 440 million naira reportedly contributed by the local government areas in the state. Now, join us to provide some context to this investigation is the chairman of the Kano State Public Complaints Commission, Muhuyi Magaji. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us. He's joining us virtually from Kano.
Thank you very much for having me. Good evening.
It's good to see you again, Chairman. First of all, just help us dimension and understand the scale of this investigation. What are you exactly investigating here?
Well, it's good. This is a very good question. What we are investigating is not the release of the money to the local government per se, or the procurement of the contract, or the drugs, the contract for the procurement of drugs. What we are actually investigating is how does it happen and why. You see, under Kano State public procurement policy and laws, there are certain regulations and criteria. Yes, obviously, the state government often allow local governments to undertake, under the leadership of Engineer Abdullahi Yusuf, allow local governments to undertake their assignments. And we only got to know the dimension or the deep of this, liberty they have when we started this investigation. As I'm talking to you here, I was so, I really appreciate the way and manner the money is being allocated to the local government for them to undertake their projects. And this, at least, it is indicating the start of perhaps the financial autonomy of the local government in Kano, so to say. Because as far as local government is concerned, even during the Native Authority era, Kano State is a pest setter. That one aside, we are investigating a situation whereby somebody will remain in Kano City, direct the local government council to put in some certain amount of money earmarked for a project or for a procurement of certain, certain drugs.
Go ahead, Chairman.
I'm sorry,
we can still hear you. I think you lost your power there, but we can still hear you. Go ahead.
Very soon.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a condition of interest we are in. Can I continue?
Yeah. Go ahead. I can hear you quite clearly.
Okay. So actually, what we are investigating is that some people, allocated themselves the power to direct the local government council to put in some money, that is 10 million naira earmarked for the procurement of drugs, to put in into the account of a company under the pretext of supplying drugs. And this goes contrary to the provision of the Public Procurement Law of Kano State, Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission Law of Kano State, Public Financial Management Law of Kano State, because we have certain criteria. So now that is what we are actually investigating. Who did what? You see, under public procurement policy of Kano State, the approval process is there. You see, what they did was to ask the local government council to send money into the account of Novomed pharmaceutical companies, which they send upfront. About 38 local governments send the money upfront. Apart from that, we go around the local governments, and as at Monday, we were able to understand that only one local government was able to receive 2 over 3 of the required drug, or contracting drugs anyway. So this is when the commission decided to launch an all-out investigation and have a belief that there's something fishy, and we're able to understand that it's some group of individuals here that live under the pretext of, or under the umbrella of Association of Local Government Council of Nigeria, with perhaps some connivance with some staff of the Ministry of Local Government, to pinpoint one company and coerce the local government, because some of the information we are getting now is from the Local Government Council that are not happy with what happens. So I ask them to put the money.
Right. Chairman, just to get a bit of a context there, we understand that this particular development became rather popular in the public domain following Dambello, the popular TikToker or a content creator, shedding light on this particular development. Did your investigation start against that backdrop as Dambello's content became popular online, or was there a petition even before his content came online?
Actually, not only even the government itself come to know about it. When I say government, I mean the governor of Kano State. The governor of Kano State come to know about it when I intimated him. And I told all the medias that interview me since the start of this investigation that our investigation started right from the time I called in the governor of Kano State. And this has gone to show you, the commitment of particularly this commission in the fight against corruption, and perhaps the zero tolerance policy of the government of Kano State for me to have a liberty and the audacity to call in the governor who employed me and appointed me into this position and ask him about a question which he is the center of it, whether or not he's aware of it. And his response was a shocker to us because he was not even aware of the contract. And when we go down the ladder and we're able to find out the level of at the level which these people connive among themselves to initiate this contract, and we even reach out to the due process ministry, and we were able to gather a lot of evidence, and we were able to reach to trace the money, and we placed PND on the same account, and we are tracing another account that we trace the money into. And at the same time, as you asked me, yes, we come to know about it because Mbello raised the issue, and the youth, which I am proud of, take it to themselves to intimate the government and put pressure on the government. Because in my phone, I received nothing less than 500 messages indicating, or rather forwarding the video and asking the commission and myself to intervene and act accordingly. And that's what we are doing. And we have made an inroad into it, and we're able to uncover a lot of things which our final, report will capture in all aspects and angle of the investigation.
Right. Okay. Help us understand whether this is purely a logistical issue, because you said one of these 38 local council areas has received the stock that is supposed to receive from Novamade. Give us an understanding whether your prosecution is just going beyond the breach of procurement laws, and perhaps if, as you alluded to, this is just fraud with the pretext of trying to buy these drugs, but without any intent of actually delivering them. Is the company trying to let you know that, they're just facing some supply chain issues or logistical issues, or is there an establishment that there was no intention to actually deliver the drugs?
Well, we are expecting the company to come tomorrow, and we hear their side of the story. From the preliminary finding now, honestly speaking, the commission is of the view that this is nothing. There's nothing to do with logistic problem, and this is a calculated attempt, perhaps, to shortchange the government. And we have policies, we have laws that govern the procurement of public procurement in Kano State, and those laws are clear. There's no anywhere, that's exception anyway, but it's not allowed to pay a contracting company an upfront payment. That's not allowed. That's not the practice. The practice is that you are allowed to pay 20% anyway, or you pay 20% and you paid open satisfaction of the supply of goods. Then you pay the contract in accordance with the laid down principles. Now, apart from that, in a situation whereby certain procurement is allowed through a single source, or where an upfront payment of including full payment is allowed, then there are certain criteria that needs to be complied with. This is only a situation whereby when the issue is related to what do you call it, custom-made goods, that the procuring entity is only the only one that is capable of procuring that, and based on the reputation of that procuring entity can be paid in full. And this has to come with so many stages, because there must be a justification report, which the justification report has to be sent to the governor to indicate the risks and the way to mitigate the risks, and perhaps the payment guarantee or bond. In this case, all these are not available. And when they said, we had a voice note whereby somebody was calling on all the local government, this voice note was supplied to us by one of the people invited, and they were asking the local government to pay in this amount, so amount of money into the account of the company, and they were asked to afterward ensure that due process is followed. And this, as far as we are concerned, that is enough evidence, to conclude on the fact that this is nothing but an intended fraud. But at the same time, we were able to identify that these funds that had been paid to this company, we have market income. We have Dongoro market that supply drugs, and these markets, if you go there, you will purchase as much as drugs as you want. And they are all companies that was registered by the regulatory agencies such as NAFDAC, such as, Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, and all other regulatory agencies, including the NDLA is there. So you have a place in Kano that you go and procure drugs that you supply to your people. And look at the time when they call it emergency procurement, and they give money to an entity that not supply the materials, and at the same time they were so adamant to even inquire or even follow it up till when an issue was raised and the governor was not happy and even directed for a full-scale investigation, and afterward now, based on what we understand now, they are running helter-skelter to see if they can cover one thing or the other. But what I'm trying to point out here is that the commission is of the belief that this issue is not a logistic problem. It's an issue like any other issue, and as we promise, personally, as the head of this agency, I promise that we're going to treat this issue as any ordinary, or rather any case of anti-corruption that we are treating in this commission, and we will do it in a transparent manner, open to everybody to see what we are doing, and we'll carry people along to see the end and logical conclusion to this investigation.
Okay, let's talk about the figures then, because we're getting different figures in different platforms, especially following Mbelo's Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook posts regarding this particular controversial transaction. 10 million naira has been reported in some quarters. Over 9-point-something million naira was reported. Can you just confirm the figure that you are investigating, particularly with regards to what every local government supposedly had to pay for the supply of these drugs?
The contract is of 10 million. But in every contract there is tax. That the tax is about, withholding tax is about 400,000 naira, thereabout. Then tender fee of 25% is about 200 plus. Then I think one other thing, what remains is 9,150,000. Right. This you multiply by 38 according to the local government that paid in the money. Then it will give you the exact figure amount. Right. Okay. And that's the amount, not 7,700,000,000 as reported in some quarters, not the exact 440,000 as reported in some quarters. What is being transferred to this company is 9,150,000 times 38. Will give you the exact amount, and we were able to block about a half of it, and the other half too, we were able to block it in another account of another company that was sent from this, pest company that received the money from the government treasuries.
Right. Okay. Give us a timeline, Mr. Chairman, of when this actually happened.
Well, this happened all in August. I think it started from 7th of August. And the issue come into limelight after, I think it's on 12 to 13. I can't remember actually. I don't have it open here. But the entire scenario, started this August, and it's supposed to last for 3 good months. And we have this problem from the onset. And I will not preempt the recommendation of the commission, but what we are doing is we want to make sure that we advise the government appropriately. Number one, to be able to supply the drugs to people, because people are in dire need of this drug. And you can ask yourself, if a drug of 400 million naira will be given to Kano, to the good people of Kano State, it will go a long way in mitigating the suffering of the people. Then, at the same time, to prevent the future occurrence of this an ugly incident, because we not only start investigating this matter because it comes up, and as God has had it, we were able to invite the local government official. In the first place, we invite them into our anti-corruption institute at Goronduze, Kano Way. We told them about dangers of corruption, and we told them that what we really understand is going on in the local government, and really warn them that it will not be tolerated. We give them necessary legislation that we have in Kano State, and we discharge them to go.
Right.
Then, secondly, we equally invited them at Dawakin Kudu local government just very recently, I think about 2 weeks ago. We let them understand the need for transparency and accountability in governance, and we not only come alone, we collaborate with our development partners, that is the ROLAC, Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption development partners of European Union. Then we collaborate with our sister agencies and the head of civil service, that is the EFCs and ICBs, were all present, and we gave them all the necessary laws. Kano State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission law, Public Procurement law, Public Financial Management law, and all necessary other regulations that they may require. And we draw their attention on the fact that we give them live example, live cases that we have been treating in this commission, including the recent one we filed on the allegation of 57.4 billion naira that is before the court now. And we told them that it will never be tolerated and it will not be going to be business as usual. So right. Now with this development, the commission will not spare anyone. We will do whatever it takes to make sure that this will serve as another, example. The ones we are doing, that is the preventive measures we have taken, is enough for anybody that is willing to be good. If I may say this, that is enough for anybody who is patriotic enough to understand the need to stay among or within the confines of the law and to stick to the rules. Right. But anybody that finds himself want to be used, I don't want to preempt what happened. The commission in this investigation will cover a lot of things that at least we have investigated in the past. Even this case, I had a case whereby the sum of I think is 20 million naira that was sent to a company. The company happens to belong to a local government chairman. That is the prior investigation, and that money is meant for a project. And when we trace it, about only 20% of that fund that was appropriated goes to that particular project. All other 80% goes to Biru Dichan, where money was set on. So this is what we are trying to prevent, and this is what we have been doing. We will not allow this to continue. We will take appropriate and drastic measures to make sure that everybody, that whether you are working with this present government, whether you belong to the previous administration, or you are an incoming or rather an aspiring public servant or public officer, you will know that it's not business as usual, and the system will not tolerate this kind of things.
Exactly. And if I could just get a yes or no answer, because we're completely out of time. Obviously, the name of the man at the center of this particular development is popular because of obvious reasons, because the name Kwankwaso obviously draws the attention of people who understand the political developments, not just in Kano, by the way, but across Nigeria. But we understand that the man at the center of this particular investigation is the nephew of the father of the Kwankwasia movement in Kano, talking about Rabi Musa Kwankwaso. You did just make that point about there will be no sacred cows, and we understand that by Thursday you're going to interrogate him because we understand that they are currently in detention. Give us a sense of the kind of treatment we expect out of this whole investigation, and what you expect will be the end result, very briefly, as we wrap things up.
Let me start by caveat here. Nobody is in detention. All the people that come, yes, some people were here,
right,
and they spent a long time with us, and they fulfill all their bail conditions, and they cooperate with the commission, and we allow them to go on bail. And the issue of the managing director of Novomed, who incidentally is related to one of the leaders, not only in this government but in Kano and in the country at large. That notwithstanding, the commission is determined that at least we are equal before the law, and nobody is above the law. So yes, as you said, we have extended an invitation, and we are expecting the managing director to come. And when he comes, we have a series of questions that we need and answers from him, which will help in concluding the investigation. So and it is not all about individual per se. It's all about the system, the people, and the Kano in general. Right. So we are determining whether or not is related to the governor, is related to His Excellency the former governor, is related or not related to anybody, or even he is in the opposition. Right. The same treatment that we used to give anybody is the same treatment that he's supposed to receive. And this is what the leadership entails. That is why when you are coming on board, you subscribe to an oath of office that you will do right to all manner of people without fear or favor, affection, or ill will. You will not allow your personal interest, not your official conduct and official decision. This is exactly what we are exhibiting. And this goes a long way.
Okay. I'm afraid, Chairman, we're going to have to leave it here for now. We're going to keep tabs on this development as it continues to unfold, follow the investigations, and hopefully be able to bring our viewers an update on the outcomes of your investigations. Thank you most kindly for sparing the time and for joining us on Daily Politics as always. Muhuyi Magaji, Chairman of the PCACC in Kano. Thank you so much for joining us. Right, that is it for tonight's edition of Daily Politics. A quick reminder, we'll be back tomorrow, live and exclusive on Trust TV as always. You can do well to follow us across our social media platforms to stay in touch. You can also check out our website, trusttv.com, where you can find more of this show as well as every other content on news and programming across Trust TV. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. From myself and the rest of the team, thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.